Have you ever tried to silence fear with noise? Ever thrown a party just to forget the voice inside whispering you're not enough? Tonight, in Babylon's Golden Palace, King Belshazzar does exactly that. The great hall blazes with torchlight. Music pounds. Wine flows like rivers. 1,000 nobles feast and laugh, their voices echoing off marble walls. But look closer at the king. Behind his smile, something flickers. Restlessness. A hunger no feast can fill. He lifts his golden cup high and shouts, "Tonight, Babylon remembers who its king is." The crowd roars. They drink. They cheer. But deep inside, Belshazzar knows the truth. He's not his grandfather Nebuchadnezzar, the legendary warrior who conquered nations. He's just a man wearing a crown too heavy for his shoulders. Welcome to our channel. Please subscribe, like and share for more uncovering of hidden truths from history and scriptural tales. The torches flicker strangely. A cold breath moves through the hall though no window stands open. And somewhere beyond sight, heaven watches. Something is about to happen. Something no one can stop. A deep, low rumble echoes through the hall. But no one knows where it came from. The feast roars on, but Belshazzar slips away. He needs a moment. Just one moment alone. In a private chamber, away from the music and watching eyes, his mask falls. His hands shake as he grips a table's edge. His breath comes quick and shallow. "Strength," he whispers to the empty room. They must see strength. But who is he trying to convince? Them? Or himself? He fears being forgotten. Overshadowed. Just another name in a list of kings no one remembers. The walls feel close. Too close. Like they're watching him. He spins around. Who's there? Empty silence. But the feeling stays. The air presses against his chest like invisible hands. Then he hears it, a whisper. Soft. Barely there. His heart hammers. Show yourself. Nothing moves. Nothing answers. Just the distant sound of laughter from the feast. He straightens his robe, forces his face back into confidence, and returns to the hall. But the fear comes with him. It always does. Back in the great hall, Belshazzar's pride ignites like dry wood. If they won't fear him naturally, they'll fear what he dares to do. He raises his hand, silencing the musicians. "Bring me the sacred vessels. The ones taken from Jerusalem's temple." His advisors freeze. One dares to speak. "My king, those vessels belong to the God of Israel. They are holy." Belshazzar cuts him off. "So am I." Guards rush to obey. Moments later they return carrying golden cups and bowls, vessels once used to worship the God of heaven. The crowd gasps. Some cheer. Others shift uncomfortably. Belshazzar lifts one high. "Tonight we drink to the gods of gold and silver. To the gods of bronze and iron. To the gods who answer when we call." He pours wine into the sacred cup and drinks deeply. The crowd erupts. But then, a gust of wind sweeps through the hall. Half the torches go out. No door opened. No window moved. Silence crashes down. Belshazzar's hand trembles as he lowers the cup. What just happened? Outside the palace walls, darkness moves with purpose. The Medo-Persian army creeps closer, silent as shadows. Soldiers position themselves at every gate, every entrance. No trumpets. No war cries. Just discipline and deadly patience. Their commander, Darius, watches the city from a distant hill. Babylon's mighty walls rise high and proud, glowing with torchlight. Music drifts from the palace. They are drunk, a soldier whispers. Darius nods slowly. Then tonight, the kingdom shifts. Inside Babylon's walls, the guards laugh and drink, completely unaware of the army surrounding them. They mock the very idea of danger. Who would dare attack Babylon? One slurs, raising his cup. His companion laughs. We're invincible. But beyond the walls, Persian scouts test the gates. They find weaknesses. They wait for the signal. Heaven has already written the verdict. Now men carry it out. The city doesn't know it yet, but the countdown has begun. Babylon's last night has started. And nothing can stop what's coming. Shift now beyond earth, beyond sight, to the unseen realm. In a place outside time, a heavenly courtroom stands in session. Scrolls lie open before the throne. Angels stand at attention, their faces grave with the weight of what's about to unfold. A voice speaks, echoing like thunder and whisper at once, "Belshazzar, son of arrogance. He has lifted himself against the Lord of heaven. He has mocked what is sacred. He has refused every warning given." Silence hangs heavy. Then the voice continues, each word carrying the weight of finality. His days are numbered. His kingdom is finished. The verdict is sealed. One angel steps forward. Shall we deliver the message? Yes. Let it be written where all eyes can see, where no man can deny what heaven declares. A single divine finger, glowing bright, burning with holy fire, begins to descend. It moves through dimensions, through realms, through the thin veil between heaven and earth. It is unstoppable, unavoidable, and it aims directly at Belshazzar's palace. Heaven doesn't shout. It simply acts. Back in the hall, Belshazzar's voice grows bolder with every cup. He's drunk now. Reckless. The fear he felt earlier drowns beneath wine and pride. He raises the sacred cup again and shouts, "Where is this God of Israel? The one who claims to move nations? Let him speak if he dares." The crowd laughs nervously. Some cheer loudly. Others look away. "I am king." Belshazzar roars. "I fear no God who hides in silence." But then the wine in his cup tastes wrong. Bitter. Strange. The air grows heavy, pressing down on everyone like a weight. The laughter dies. The music stutters and stops. A woman near the front suddenly screams. Her cup cracks in her hand, without anyone touching it. Without falling. Wine spills across the marble floor like blood. Belshazzar stares, his breath catching in his throat. Another guest drops his goblet. It shatters into pieces. Whispers ripple through the hall. "What's happening? Did you feel that?" The torches flicker wildly now, throwing dancing shadows across walls. Something is in the room. Something unseen. Something powerful. The musicians stop playing mid-note. The dancers freeze in place. A cold wind sweeps through the great hall, though every window is sealed shut, every door closed. Guests look around, confused and afraid. Belshazzar grips the armrests of his throne until his knuckles turn white. "Who is here?" he whispers into the thick silence. The hall answers with nothing. No footsteps. No voices. Just the crackle of torches and the rapid breathing of 1,000 frightened people. The king's heart pounds so hard he can feel it in his throat. He wants to stand, to shout commands, to take control, but his body won't obey. Fear has him now. Real fear. The kind that makes you small. Then, the wall behind him begins to glow. Faintly at first. A soft, unnatural light spreading across the plaster like water soaking into cloth. Guests gasp. Some point with trembling fingers. Others back away slowly. Belshazzar turns his head slowly, afraid to look but unable to stop himself. The glow grows brighter with each passing second. Something is about to appear. Something that will change everything forever. Then it happens. Out of nothing, a hand appears in the air. Not attached to any body. Not held by any arm. Just a hand, glowing, blazing with blinding white light. Screams erupt across the hall. Goblets crash to the floor. Nobles stumble backward, tripping over each other in panic. The hand moves slowly, deliberately, with terrible purpose. It presses against the wall, and begins to write. The sound is horrible. Like grinding stone. Like breaking bones. The fingers carve deep into the plaster, leaving glowing letters that burn brighter with each stroke. Belshazzar's legs give out completely. He collapses against his throne, his face drained of all color, his lips moving without sound. "No," he finally breathes. "No, no, no." But the hand doesn't stop. It writes. Letter by letter. Word by word. The entire hall freezes in terror. No one moves. No one speaks. The only sound is that grinding, scraping noise of the invisible finger against the wall. And then, the writing stops. The hand hovers, unmoving. The letters burn bright like fire. But no one can read them. Belshazzar's voice cracks as he screams, "Someone read it. Now." Guards rush out to bring the wise men, astrologers, magicians, enchanters, every scholar in Babylon. They stumble into the hall, rubbing sleep from their eyes. But when they see the glowing words burning on the wall, they stop cold. "Read it." Belshazzar shouts desperately. "I'll give you gold, purple robes, position and power, third highest in the kingdom. Just tell me what it means." The wise men step closer hesitantly. They squint at the letters. They mutter to each other in confusion. But their faces grow pale with helplessness. "My king," one finally says, voice shaking, we don't know. It's not written in any language we recognize." Another adds weakly, "The letters are strange. Unlike anything in our scrolls." "Then find someone who can." Belshazzar roars, his voice breaking with desperation. But no one moves. They stand frozen, staring at the burning words they cannot understand. Fear spreads like poison through the hall. Then, the Queen Mother enters, her face pale but voice steady. There is one man who can read this. Daniel is summoned from his home. He walks into the hall slowly, calmly, his steps measured. His hair is gray now, his face lined with the years. But his eyes are clear, steady, completely unshaken by the chaos around him. The panic doesn't touch him. Belshazzar stumbles forward, desperation roar in his voice. You're Daniel? The one who served my grandfather Nebuchadnezzar? Daniel nods once. Tell me what it means. Belshazzar begs, his voice cracking. I'll give you anything, gold, robes, power, position. Daniel raises one hand calmly. Keep your gifts, O king. I serve a kingdom you cannot bribe. The hall goes completely silent. Daniel's voice is quiet, but somehow it fills every corner of the vast room. I will read the writing. But first, you must hear the truth. Belshazzar wants to argue, to command, to assert his authority. But something in Daniel's eyes stops him cold. Speak then, the king whispers. Daniel steps closer to the glowing letters. He studies them for a long moment. Then he turns to face the king. And what comes next will shatter everything. Daniel's voice cuts through the silence like a blade forged in truth. You knew, he begins, each word deliberate. You knew what happened to your grandfather, Nebuchadnezzar. You saw his pride destroy him. You watched him lose his mind and live like an animal in the fields. You saw how the Most High God humbled him, and then restored him only when he finally acknowledged the Lord of heaven. Belshazzar's face twitches. But you, Daniel continues without mercy, you did not humble yourself, though you knew all this. Instead, you lifted yourself up against the Lord of heaven. You brought his sacred vessels here. You drank from them. You praised gods of gold and silver and bronze, gods that cannot see, cannot hear, cannot know anything. Each sentence lands like a hammer blow. The nobles stand frozen. No one dares even breathe. The God who holds your very breath in his hand, Daniel says, the God who controls every day you've ever lived, you have not honored him. Belshazzar tries to speak, but no words come. Daniel turns to the wall. And so God has sent this message. He reads aloud, mean. The hall holds its breath. Daniel's voice rings out with calm finality. Mean, God has numbered the days of your reign and brought it to an end. Belshazzar's hands begin to tremble uncontrollably. Daniel continues without pause. Tekel, you have been weighed on the scales and found wanting. Found lacking. Found unworthy. The king's breath comes in short, shallow gasps. Perez, your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Tonight. Complete silence. The words hang in the air like a death sentence carved in stone. Belshazzar stares at the glowing letters, his lips moving soundlessly. Numbered. Weighed. Divided. The meaning crashes over him in waves. His reign is over. His kingdom is finished. Tonight. Now. He wants to argue. To rage. To deny what he's hearing. But deep inside, beneath all the whine and pride and fear, he knows the truth. Heaven has spoken. And no man can overturn what heaven has decreed. Then, a distant rumble shakes the palace walls. Guests scream. Torches fall and shatter. Outside, the sound of shouting rises like a flood. The Persians have entered the city. Babylon is falling. And Belshazzar's time is up. Chaos explodes through the palace. Persian soldiers pour through Babylon's gates like water through a broken dam. The drunk guards try to fight back, but they are slow, clumsy, unprepared. They fall quickly. Inside the palace, guests scramble desperately for exits. Servants scream. Nobles shove each other aside, all dignity forgotten in their panic to escape. But there's nowhere to go. The Persians are already in the corridors. Belshazzar stands frozen beneath the glowing words, staring up at them. No, he whispers. This cannot be. A guard bursts in, his face white with terror. My king. The city is breached. The Persians are everywhere. How? Belshazzar screams. How did they get past our walls? But the guard has no answer. The wine. The arrogance. The celebration. Babylon was blind while danger crept close. And now it's too late. Heavy footsteps echo down the marble corridor outside. Deliberate. Purposeful. A Persian commander appears in the doorway, his armor gleaming in the flickering torchlight. His eyes are cold and certain. Find the king, he says quietly to his men. Belshazzar's heart stops. Belshazzar tries desperately to rally his remaining men. Fight, he shouts, his voice cracking with desperation. Babylon is eternal. We do not fall to anyone. But half his guards turn and run. The rest stand trembling, their weapons shaking in their hands. They've seen the writing blazing on the wall. They know what it means. Heaven has spoken. And no sword on earth can fight against heaven's word. Belshazzar realizes it now. Every decision, every act of pride, every moment he ignored the warnings, it all led him to this exact place. To this moment. To this end. His breathing slows. His shaking hands still. For the first time tonight, he feels something other than fear or pride. He feels the crushing weight of truth. He was never as powerful as he thought. Never as untouchable. Never as great. He was just a man. A man who forgot that someone greater was always watching. Why me? He whispers to the glowing letters on the wall. The words don't answer. But their silence is answer enough. Behind him, footsteps approach. Slow. Steady. Final. He doesn't turn around. He already knows. Belshazzar stands alone beneath the burning words. The great hall is empty now. Everyone has fled into the night. Just him. The glowing letters. And the sound of footsteps drawing closer behind him. He closes his eyes slowly. For just a moment, he remembers being a child. His grandfather's stories. The legends of Nebuchadnezzar's conquests. The dream of being great. Of being remembered. Of mattering. But greatness without humility is just a shadow pretending to be solid. And shadows disappear the moment real light arrives. I should have listened, he whispers to no one and everyone. The footsteps stop directly behind him. Belshazzar turns slowly to face what comes next. A Persian soldier stands there, sword already drawn and gleaming. The king meets his eyes. There's no fear left now. No pride. No mask. Just acceptance of what was always going to happen. Do what you came to do, Belshazzar says quietly. The soldier hesitates for only a heartbeat, then obeys his orders. The crown falls from Belshazzar's head, rolling across the marble floor. It stops beneath the glowing words. Numbered. Weighed. Divided. The great hall falls completely silent. The torches have burned low. The feast is long over. The guests are gone. Only the words remain, glowing faintly now on the wall. Mean. Tekel. Perez. Numbered. Weighed. Divided. Daniel walks slowly through the empty hall, his footsteps echoing softly in the vast space. He stops beneath the writing and touches the wall gently. The letters are still warm under his aged hand. Pride, he whispers to the silence, always falls. He's seen this pattern before. Nebuchadnezzar. Now Belshazzar. Over and over throughout history, the same tragic story. Men rise. Men forget who gave them power. Men fall. But God remains. Outside the palace, Persian soldiers secure the city street by street. Darius begins organizing his new reign. Babylon belongs to a different empire now, and most people don't even know it yet. The words on the wall begin to fade slowly. Letter by letter, the glow dims. Until only one remains, faint but still visible. A reminder left behind. A warning that will echo through generations. Heaven writes what men refuse to hear. The last ember fades. Darkness fills the hall. So what does this ancient story mean for you today? Belshazzar had everything the world says matters. Power, wealth, a kingdom, parties, people who cheered his name. But he had no humility. No reverence. No willingness to listen to truth. And so heaven spoke. Not with thunder or armies first. But with a quiet hand writing undeniable truth on a wall. Here are 6 lessons his story leaves for us. Pride blinds us to warnings that could save us. Belshazzar ignored every sign until it was too late to change course. God's silence is never absence. Judgment can arrive quietly. Heaven was watching every moment, even when Belshazzar thought no one could see. Power without humility leads to sudden collapse. No throne sits too high for God to reach. No kingdom stands beyond his authority. Heaven weighs every heart, nothing stays hidden. We may fool other people, but we never fool God. What we mock today may judge us tomorrow. The sacred vessels Belshazzar laughed at became witnesses to his downfall. Destiny shifts the moment we refuse to listen. One choice. One act of pride. Everything changes. The invisible hand that wrote on Belshazzar's wall still writes today, not on plaster, but on human hearts. Not in ancient letters, but in the quiet, persistent voice of conscience and truth. The question facing you is simple but urgent. Will you read the writing before it's too late? Or will you, like Belshazzar, ignore the message until the words become your final verdict? Heaven is watching right now. Heaven is writing even as you hear these words. And your story? It isn't finished yet. There's still time to humble yourself, to listen, to change. But the hand is already moving. What will you do before the last letter glows?